Hello Internet! Welcome to TV Theory, the show that is not a ripoff of the hit series Film Theory. MatPat, please don't sue us. This is a school assignment. As you might have guessed, I'm a big fan of Stranger Things. When a new season comes out, I want to be left alone and finish it in under 24 hours. When I come out of my room, I usually look like Gollum, but that's fine. I just love everything about the show. The characters, the writing, the mystery, and the 80s nostalgia, even though I was born in 2003. It's a near perfect show. So naturally, when I finished the third season, I was desperate to find out what happens next, since that season ends on a goddamn cliffhanger. Calm down. Calm. Okay, so since I couldn't stop thinking about season 3, my mind started speculating about season 4 and what would happen in it. But then, I noticed a pattern between the seasons when I was thinking to myself, and I know what could happen. I haven't been this excited for a theory since my theories about The Last Jedi. But then Leia turned into Superman and the character of Luke Skywalker was treated horribly. I'm sorry, I'm still not over The Last Jedi. Anyway, prepare your butts, folks. This is a good one. And if you haven't seen season 3, click off this video now. But why wouldn't you have seen the show? If you haven't, go watch it and then come back and watch this video. Here we go. First, a little recap of the things that happened in Season 3 that relate to this theory. A new mall opens up in Hawkins called the Starcourt Mall, but it isn't quite as innocent as it seems. Beneath it is an underground Soviet facility where the Soviets are trying to fully open the portal to the Upside Down once again. Hopper, Joyce, and Murray go down to the fortress to stop it. They are successful in closing the portal, but now without creating a huge explosion killing a bunch of Soviets and Hopper. With the portal closed, the mind flayer that has been haunting Hawkins dies and the reign of terror ends. The Byers family moves alongside 11 and the credits roll. But there's a credit scene that takes place in a prison in Kamchatka in the Soviet Union, where guards stop at one cell and one says,
Не американцы.
Then they go to the next cell and feed another prisoner to a Demogorgon. So, what might happen next? Let's start with the American. Who could he be? Well, the most obvious answer is that it's Hopper. While it is implied that he dies in the explosion that closes the gap between the Upside Down and the normal world, his body or him dying is never shown. It's possible that somehow Hopper survived the machine explosion and was transported to a different Russian base, performing a similar experiment to the one in Hawkins. The third season opens with Soviets failing to open a portal to the Upside Down in the Soviet Union. They just went to Hawkins because that was the source of the first opening, and they thought they would be more successful there. They might have not given up and are trying to open a portal in the Soviet Union once more. But hey, that's just a theory. ATV! Just kidding. The theory keeps on going. Let's talk about the pattern I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I noticed a pattern between the seasons when I was thinking to myself, and I know what could happen. All the Stranger Things seasons so far have taken place during a holiday. The first season took place during Christmas, the second season took place during Halloween, and the third season took place during the 4th of July, America's Independence Day. Looking over this, a pattern starts to emerge. It seems like the show is going backwards in on the calendar. Christmas is in the winter, Halloween is in the fall, and the 4th of July is in the summer. So, the fourth season, according to the pattern, should take place in the spring. And what big holiday is in the spring? Easter! So maybe the next season will be full of Easter bunnies, happy children, and monsters running around Hawkins. But what if I told you that the fourth season won't take place entirely in Hawkins? In the newly revealed Season 4 reveal trailer, a title card pops up at the end of the little tease, and it says, "We're not in Hawkins anymore." But if the season is not going to be taking place entirely in Hawkins, then where will it take place? Well, what major catastrophic event happened in the Soviet Union the spring of 1986? That's right, the nuclear reactor explosion in Chernobyl. I know what you're thinking, but stay with me here. The Soviets are a big part of Season 3, and the credit scene in the final episode of the third season shows that there is still a Demogorgon in the real world, in a prison in the Soviet Union. Hopper is also being kept there. Excuse me, the American. It's Hopper. Don't even try to tell me anything different. If Hopper is actually dead, I will cry. Like when the machine exploded. Hey, don't even try to tell me that you didn't cry. Anyway, now I have two pretty good reasons for the kids and adults to go to the Soviet Union. The gang must go and save Hopper and put an end to the Upside Down once and for all, whether it's them having to kill the last Demogorgon and fight the Soviets, or more likely having to close a portal to the Upside Down that the Soviets successfully open in the Soviet Union. Now that we have established reasons for the gang to go to the Soviet Union, how can Chernobyl connect to the story? Simple answer, folks, 11. But Aid, I hear you say. 11 lost her powers in Season 3. She lost them by using them to get a piece of the Mind Flayer out of her leg. Well, dear viewer, do you seriously think that 11 is not getting her powers back? The show gets too much story mileage out of her powers, and without her, how are they going to battle the creatures of the Upside Down? 11 will somehow get her powers back, whether it's recharging, like she's done before, or something else. When, yes, I mean when 11 gets her powers back, she will then have to close the Upside Down one last time, causing a major disaster. The Chernobyl nuclear accident might just be the perfect cover-up for the government to keep people from knowing about the Upside Down. So, it looks like we've got it all figured out. The season will happen during Easter in Hawkins, and then we will go on an adventure to save Hopper and put an end to the Upside Down, which causes Chernobyl. Well, things aren't that simple. The first flaw with this is that in the year 1986, Easter fell on March 30th, which is almost a whole month before the Chernobyl disaster. That would mean that the show would take place over a whole month, when the other seasons have taken place over a few days to a week. It just doesn't fit with the pacing of the show. Looks like we've hit a roadblock, ladies and gentlemen. Many hours of research turned obsolete. Well, not exactly. The show doesn't necessarily have to take place during a holiday. The switching of holidays is mainly just to give the town of Hawkins a new feel and atmosphere, and since we're not in Hawkins anymore, and the budget and story of Stranger Things just keep getting bigger and bigger, the season could take place in the Soviet Union around the time of the Chernobyl disaster. It would still fit into the ongoing time theme of the show. The Chernobyl explosion occurred in April, which is in the spring, so we would keep the season theme going. There is another issue, however. Hopper is being kept in a prison in Kamchatka. That's 4,000 miles away from Chernobyl. Why would it be kept there and then go to Chernobyl? Well, there may be another gate to the Upside Down in Chernobyl, and the Soviets are trying to open it. I think that our team of rescuers will stop at Kamchatka, save the American, and then somehow end up in Chernobyl, where they stop the operations once and for all, causing a major disaster, and some characters will probably die. Most likely 11 though, because if she uses her powers to cause an accident as big as the tragedy of Chernobyl, her body won't be able to handle that. The Duffer Brothers have said that the 4th season may be the last season of the series, and that means that a lot of characters can get the axe, including 11. Well, that's season 4 for ya. We travel all the way to the Soviet Union, save Hopper, and cause the Chernobyl tragedy. But hey, that's just a theory. A TV theory. And cut.